tail of the tape for this, our co-main event of the evening. 28-year-old Bandejas against 31-year-old Higo, who, John, unfortunately lost his fight with the scale.
Yeah, 139, that means he missed it. That is his job. He needs to make that right.
Michael C. Williams, once again, with the official introductions.
Here at Mohegan Sun Arena, Bellator MMA now presents tonight's co-main event. 3 5-minute rounds in the bantamweight division. And now live on CBS Sports Network, we introduce the blue corner. At 5'8", weighing in 139 pounds, his professional record, 19 wins, 5 defeats. From Rio Grande do Norte, Brazil, Leandro Higo. And across the cage, his adversary fighting out of the red corner. At 5'10", weighing in 136 pounds even. As a professional, 13 victories, 4 losses. Fighting out of Coconut Creek, Florida. He hails from Brick, New Jersey, presenting Ricky Bandejas. And your referee in charge, Kevin McDonald.
Kevin McDonald, our referee. Our co-main event featuring Ricky Bandejas and Leandro Higo. Fight scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds.
Ready to fight? Ready to fight? Let's go.
Here we go. Tonight's fight clock is presented by Geico. Bandejas in the red gloves, Higo in the blue gloves.
I'm pumped for this fight, man. This is one of those fights I've been thinking about all week.
You look at who these men have battled against inside the Bellator cage. Josh talked about it. Juan Archuleta, Patchy Mix, Sergio Pettis for Bandejas. How about guys like Eduardo Dantes, Aaron Pico, Darian Caldwell, John, for Higo?
Yeah, they both have fought top flight competition. You know, and they both have their areas where they're really strong, and then they have their areas where you think they make mistakes. The real question is who's going to fight the smart game plan and the better fight tonight.
I've had a chance to train with Higo on the ground, and he's phenomenal on the ground. He's got a good hook sweep, great arm and guillotine. I likes to attack the legs as well. His fluidity on the ground is very, very impressive. The one thing that we talked about earlier before this was that can he keep his composure? You know, I give the speed factor to Ricky Bandejas, but once he starts touching him, can Higo keep his composure instead of chasing after him, trying to land the big shot?
I think all these kicks, these push kicks, these front kicks that you're seeing out of Ricky Bandejas, all very smart. He needs to keep this fight moving as far as angles. Do not get caught with himself just standing in one place where Higo can rush in on him.
We just saw right there, that quick jab that Ricky Bandejas has. He tends to put his chin up in the air when he throws his punches. And even though he hasn't been clipped yet, I get nervous against somebody like Higo who, if he finds the mark, it's over.
Tomorrow morning at 10 Eastern, dive into CBS Sports Network as some of the best swimmers in the world team up and hit the water in Budapest. It's the International Swimming League right here on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Mike Goldberg, Josh Thompson, Big John McCarthy, Jen Brown, Chael Sonnen. Let's see if Higo's able to utilize that spectacular ground game that Josh talked about. Spent 3 months in preparation for this fight at Fight Ready in Scottsdale, Arizona with Triple C. Henry Cejudo, a very good friend of his. They go back to their wrestling days.
Well, what we saw with the Juan Archuleta fight and Ricky Bandejas, right? Ricky likes to go ahead and be an anti-grappler, so every time Juan took him down, he pops right back up to his feet. But with Higo, what the issue is that he learns how to control the position, the jiu-jitsu positions. So he controlled the legs right away, worked his way into the guard. Now it's harder for you to get up if I'm in your guard position as long as I control the leg position.
Also pulled those hips away from that fence. That's what put his back flat to the ground.
11 of his 14 finishes have come by submission. Higo, a black belt, as I mentioned, since 2012.
What we saw in the Sean Bunch fight, you cannot leave your neck out there because it'll be snatched up real quick by Higo. And so Ricky's got to be careful digging his head too far low and letting Higo grab on the neck and the head and arm position, that head and arm choke.
Also real good position here. Look at Higo. He's got the underhook on the far side here, using his head as a third arm to push Ricky's head against the cage and landing shots.
As well as having wrist control, because what Ricky needs is he needs to be able to have that wrist to post and start to elevate his hips and his level to get up.
Right now, Ricky's not going to go anywhere. That underhook that you see with that left arm, that is keeping him in that position. There's no way with his leg entwined into Higo's legs that he's going to be getting himself up.
Well, it's not even so much, John, it's the underhook. It's Higo's head is above Ricky's head. So his head's got to get elevated, and as long as Higo's head is above his, that's what's going to keep him in that position. Nice job. I call that the dope mount. He brought one knee over to the KC where he had the leg over, and he brought the other knee up to the hip and slid right into the mount position.
And a lot of time to work, still 45 seconds on the clock.
There's that neck.
Higo would love to lock it in and finish this fight here in round 1.
See what he did there was very smart. He turned Ricky Bandejas' feet off of the fence.
30 seconds.
I gotta tell you, this alter ego,
You're liking what you
alter ego is very good right now. He's keeping the top position, staying composed, not trying to hit the submission unless he feels like he really has it.
He's trying to go for it right now. Ricky doing a good job. That knee inside is actually helping because he's keeping some of the pressure off of him.
Final seconds of round 1. We will have a round 2 against Louisiana Tech, all right here on CBS Sports Network. Round 2, red gloves Bandejas, blue gloves for Higo.
You heard in the corner of Ricky Bandejas, or at least we heard in the corner of Ricky Bandejas. Mike Brown and King Mo very adamant about, like, you need to go first. You need to throw. When you throw, you're having success. He got away from that, got pressed to the fence, got taken down. So they were in his face, letting him know this is what you need to do to win the fight. Now it's up to him to go get it done.
Higo said he feels like his Bellator career is starting over from this point. Everything that happened stayed in the past. This is an entirely new chapter, he hopes, one that will be very positive and happy for him. Look at the numbers from the first 5 minutes.
You can see that Bandejas is allowing Higo to slowly move him towards that fence. He needs to stop any backwards movement. Everything should be lateral. If you're gonna move, move laterally.
It's been a year since Leandro Higo has fought. He wants to fight with emotion, but not too emotionally. As we alluded to, he kind of learned his lesson in the fight against Aaron Pico. He's been very composed thus far, guys.
Again, he got him against cage, and Bandejas had done a good job of landing really a nice jab, landed a beautiful counter right. On the ground, there's a huge discrepancy in the levels that Bandejas has compared to what Higo has.
He just did what Juan Archuleta was not able to do. He was able to scoop him up, pick him up, take him down, and drop him. Yeah, take him where he wanted as well. But like I said, I've trained personally with Higo on the ground. His jiu-jitsu is very, very good. You know, and the transitions and the sweeps, as well as some of the attacks, it's not something I expected from someone his size, to be honest. And I was like, oh wow, you're really dangerous, you know. And then you match that up with his power on the feet, and now you see him being composed the way that Patricio and Patricia have been lately, and it's a totally different Higo on the ground.
The one thing that we're seeing out of Higo right now is exactly what you're saying: composure. Composure is what you want in a fight, because you're gonna get hit in fights. Don't let that make you mad. Just eventually get yours back.
Midway point of this fight, our buddy Jay Glazer gets his tweet in perfectly because it is all over. Just like that, another submission finish for Leandro Alter Higo. He has now finished 7 of his last 9 wins, 6 by submission. His 6th career win by rear naked choke.
2-3-2 tap.
Take a look at what Higo does here. After locking in that body figure four, see him work his hands. He controls the wrist here, starts playing with Bandejas' hand because he's just sneaking in that choke. Once he gets it locked on, that jaw is getting crushed. That is pain. It's not that he's going to get pushed out, but the pain of that jaw crush is why Ricky Bandejas tapped.
Yeah, one of the positions there as far as the figure four is what keeps him locked into that position, and then everything from there is hand fighting. So as he's trying to threaten those chokes and get there, it's all hand fighting. And you see him, like he said, he never got underneath the chin, but he was able to lock it in behind the head there and start to squeeze. We've seen that submission used several times. Like you said, it's not going to choke you out, but it could potentially break your jaw.
Will dislocate your jaw. You know, I tell guys all the time, that is a painful technique.
Alter Ego by submission. Our official decision here on CBS Sports Network is coming up next. Leandro Alter Higo with the victory by submission to make it official, Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, the official time, 2 minutes, 32 seconds into round number 2. The tap comes by way of a rear naked choke by submission. He is the winner, Leandro Alter Higo.
Great performance by Leandro Higo. His 6th career win by rear naked choke in our co-main